Hello everybody, Florida Investor here. I know it has been a while since I haven't posted a video. I wanted to make this video talking a little bit about the current conditions of the market, of the stock market. The stock market, obviously, since Trump took office, it has not done well. It did well when he was elected as president. But as you guys have seen, though all those stocks that ran up massively, such as the SPY, ETF, such as Tesla, that really, it blew up once he was elected. Well, since he has been in office, everything has been going downhill as far as the stock market. And most of the reason has to do with the tariffs that are being implemented in imports from other countries, to be specific, China, Mexico, and Canada are the main ones. And then last night, also those tariffs, 25% tariffs, were actually going to also include the car industry and also the parts of the cars, not just the cars themselves, but also parts. So if we look at the SPY, for example, the SPY, the 52-week low is 493, and it's sitting right in between, in a sense, if you want to call it that way. Excuse me. It's sitting at 568 with the 52-week high being, what was it, 613. Now, on the SPY, because it's an ETF, it doesn't drastically drop the price. But if I go back and let's say look at, as an example, Tesla is sitting at 278. And if we look at the 52-week high, 52-week high is actually 488, and the 52-week low is 138. So obviously it has affected Tesla quite a bit as far as the price fluctuations. But overall, if you look at, this is one stock that I have been talking before, that I made videos about, D-Wave, quantum computing. Again, it had a nice pop from, at one point I had some shares at $6 and change the last time I bought some, and then it popped all the way up to over $10. And but of course I sold before, so I did not capitalize on those gains. I'll show you guys what I'm in right now. I know that is a risk, but I'm willing to take that chance. And that is a company called SunNation Energy. Now, SunNation Energy, I do have a lot of shares of this because they're so cheap. I mean, it's sitting at 45 cents. It is a gamble. I'm not telling you to buy. But based on where it was at one point, and I wouldn't pay too much attention to the 52-week high in this case, because you think, well, how come the 52-week high is $313 and it's sitting at in the 52-week low is 16 cents? Obviously something happened majorly, like a major issue. But what ended up happening is they have diluted shares, they have done reverse splits, etc. So obviously that's why you see such a big change in price. But at this point, what I'm looking for is, if you chart this particular stock on a daily chart, you're gonna notice that there's a gap between, or basically a gap, that where it is now to basically $1.10 roughly. So, and that's what I'm looking for it to close that gap. I'm a little skeptical because it has had some pops, nothing major, but it has gone up a bit. I jumped in when it was like at 59 cents or 58 cents, and obviously it's down to 45. So I'm down a few $1,000s obviously because of that. But what I'm waiting again is for a bit of a pop to close that gap. So I'm waiting to see what happens all the way up to $1.10, $1.11, and then we'll go from there. But they are releasing earnings on, let's see, on the 31st. So coming up soon, I believe it's this coming Monday. I'm a little skeptical of holding through, but we'll see how things go. It may actually run up pre-earnings, so in other words, before earnings, in anticipation of potentially getting more sales, increasing profit. Now they have reduced actually debt. If you go back into their news, you're gonna notice that I think it was like 2 weeks ago, sometime probably about 2 weeks ago, they said they restructured their debt. They paid off on time. They had until I believe it was June to pay off their debt, and they actually paid it off already, which is a good sign. So they do have a little bit of cash, a few $1 million in cash, so that's a good sign. So that's what I'm thinking from my perspective is, okay, well, all I need really is a 20, 30, maybe again 50 cent pop, and I should be okay. So in other words, closing that gap into $1.10. That's my hope. That's what I'm waiting for. So keep it on you guys' radar. Do your own research. This is just to put it on your sites from me to you. This is not financial advice. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment if you have any comments, any questions. And I'll see you in the next video.